to another episode of Trending with Miss Trey. I hope you're as excited as I am to speak with our new guest, Eugenia Davis. She has some dope products. She's also an author. So I'm going to go ahead and chime her in so everyone can get to know her and see what she has going. Hello, how are
Hi. Good.
you?
How are you? I love your
Welcome to Trending with
hair.
Miss Trey.
Hey, thank you
Thank
so much for having me. I
you.
love it.
I love your hair as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
So welcome to Trending with Miss Trey. I know you have so much going on, and you have a lot of great things that you're doing right now. Let's just start off with your book, Therapy Saved My Life. Saved my business. Excuse me. Tell me a little bit about that, and well, it might save my life, so let me say life. Tell me a little bit about that and how you got to writing a book. I know you were binge listening to some therapy podcasts, so tell me a little about that, how that process was, and a little about your book.
Oh, awesome. So, for me, I was a serial entrepreneur, like trying to, have businesses and get things going. And it just seems like nothing was working out for me. And I just couldn't figure out, I know my ideas are great. I know, I thought I knew business. And so I just was like, what? There's something missing here. I'm missing something. And so one day I was literally driving down the highway and it just popped in me like, you need to go to therapy. And so when I started going to therapy, it just like everything just started coming out. Everything just started making sense. And I started having a lot of conversations with my friends, and they're like, man, this is good stuff. Like, I never thought about this like that. I never thought about it like that. And then next thing I know, I was like, well, if everybody around me is benefiting from it, why don't I just write a book and put it in a book? And that therapy saved my business. That's how it was born.
That is truly amazing. I know people look at therapy as a stigma of, I don't want to go talk to somebody. I don't want anybody in my business. What is the other things that they come up with? They come up with a plethora of excuses of why therapy does not work or why therapy does not or is not needed.
Right.
So when you decided to go ahead and go to therapy and really give it all you had because it was like you say, it saved your business. How was that process? How did you get in that space of let me just try it out? At the worst case scenario though, I go to one therapy session that doesn't work. But what was your process in saying this is
Honestly,
what I'm gonna
I was like, look, if I'm gonna spend my money on this, it's gonna work somehow. It's gonna work.
do?
But honestly, like I was like, you know what? Because I've done therapy in the past, but I realized I was doing therapy really not expecting anything. And so now when I tell people when they're going to therapy, I want you to kind of think about what's your end goal. What do you want out of therapy? And you have to ask yourself that, because if you're going just to talk, you want to guide yourself and see what direction it is that you're going. So I tell people to go in with a mindset of, what am I expecting out of this? Like, what am I trying to resolve? And a lot of people like, man, that makes sense, that instead of just going in there and just freestyling, I need to kind of figure out what exactly am I trying to pinpoint. And I think that was a turning point for me, because I was trying to figure out where was I going wrong versus all the other times I just went to go. And it made a difference. It made a difference.
That's good to know because, like I say, people, especially going through this pandemic, that shut everything down, put a pause on things. Like, what are we doing next? No one has answers. We're all just trying to figure it out. Therapy is definitely, I think that is a plus that you took that initiative to go and, find out what, like you say, find out what you were wanting to get from therapy. Because, people will go to therapy, lay on the couch, eat chips, have a blanket, take a nap, and don't get nothing from it but a bill.
Exactly, exactly. And I was like, my money is not to be played with. I need some results.
That is so dope. So you released your book last December, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so how is your book doing? What are your feedback that you're getting from the book? Because I think it's an amazing project that you put together. That you're willing to, just be very vulnerable of how you transition in this pandemic and figuring it all out.
Honestly, the book is doing great. when I wrote the book, I didn't think it was all of that. Now, I was like, I think, a few people will like it, but I didn't expect my book to take off the way it did, because so many people was like, I never realized as an entrepreneur these things was holding me back. And even people who have businesses who are successful, there was like, I hit a glass ceiling, and I needed something to take me to another level. And, your book did that for me. Like the kind of feedback that I've been getting so far, and even from men, men aren't really open about, therapy. And so to hear men tell me, I read your book and it motivated me and made me see things differently, I was like, wow, like that's really amazing. Like hopefully, this is a domino effect in their lives or their relationships. So it's been really positive and amazing.
That's great. So let's talk about this lipstick, because I
Let's talk
see
about
it.
it.
Tell me about your lipstick line and your lipstick collection and what you have going on, because that color is cute.
Thank you. It's my favorite color out of all of them is chili mauve. So I was a late bloomer when it came to makeup. I did not start wearing lipstick until I was 26. Like I did the whole
Oh, you was
foundation.
real late.
Yeah, I was super late. I was super late, but I felt like a lot of women, especially in the African American community, we see lipsticks in certain colors and we like, oh, my lips are too big for that, or I'm too dark for that. I don't think that color will look right on me. And so, like I started wearing lipsticks and I have like eczema and stuff like that. So some stuff would just dry my lips out way too much. And so I was like, why don't I just create my own lipstick line, dedicated to women who want to try colors but not sure. And so like with my skin tone and, like people that were in my commercial, like I showed African American women of all shades wearing these lipsticks, like, letting like you can be beautiful and you don't have to dry your lips out in the process. You don't have, that cracking and no.
Yes, we know about the cracking.
Exactly. Because some of my, lipsticks that I used to wear, I'm like, I really like this color, but man, like the drying out was insane. And it was important for me to create a product that people look beautiful in and would wear, and they didn't have to worry about, like, oh, do I need to reapply? Is it rubbing off, or it's super dry? Like, let me put Vaseline, or some, exactly as a base.
Yes, girl.
Yes.
So, with you having a lipstick line, and we're in this pandemic, and we have to wear masks. How is that working for you? How did you pivot that with your business, or did you create a product that you're able to wear with the mask and don't have to worry about the smudging?
And that's honestly, that was a selling point. Like, people were still going out to eat, at one point, things slowly started opening up. And so, I was telling people like, hey, try my lipstick. I promise you won't regret it. Like, just I promise. I didn't even sell them any hopes and dreams. And they were coming back like, my lipstick did not rub off in my mask. Like I was kissing my husband and my lipstick was still there. And I was like, yeah, I told you, you wouldn't regret it. And they was like, it's not dry. My lips aren't cracking. They was like, I put it on and it was like, it lasted all day. They was like, I was eating, I was drinking, and it was still there. And I was like, yeah, I told you I got you back.
Yeah, the husbands love the lacquers. Because when you're out and about and you're like you're on a go and you have to go here, go there, eat there, whatever the case may be, you don't want to have to keep reapplying. And then sometimes you're not always in front of a mirror to make sure you're not looking like grandma reapplying. So it's good to have a lacquer that you're able to have on all day and it does not move, it does not budge. It's still the freshness of when you put it on in the beginning of the day. So that's amazing that you were able to pivot and make sure that that was a key component of having the line, because we're in this pandemic, we're wearing masks, we don't want to wear them anyway. We get the reason why we have to wear masks. Let's put that out there.
Right.
I'm not, but it's like, I want to see my
lipstick. Exactly. Like you don't want to pull it off like, hey, I'm sitting down at the table right now and it's like all in your mask.
Yes.
So
yes, I love lacquers. I will say personally, I love lacquers because, like you say, if you're out and about, I'm a foodie, so I'm always eating. I don't have time to keep. Where's the lipstick? Let me reapply. Like, no, I need something that's gonna be on. I can eat, I can drink, and I don't have to worry about it. So that is a major component that you have, and you also have lip glosses too, as well, right?
Yes, yes. So it Diamonds Glaze originally started with my formula for my lip glosses. So my lip glosses, I have clear lip glosses. They're sheer, but they're scented because again, I have 3 daughters, and I was so tired of buying like 80 different chapsticks a month. Like it was ridiculous. I'm like, look, guys, we got to come together on this. So it started out with just me creating a formula that I like, because I like my lips to shine, but I don't like the grease, like looking like I ate a bucket of chicken and all of that. So, it took me a couple weeks to come up with a formula, and that's really where it started. With my tinted glosses, it's more of, like vitamin E, shea, just that moisturizing, but it has a hint of color. But yeah, that's really where Diamonds Glaze started, was an all natural gloss that I created. And it again, I really started it for my children, and we just expanded from there.
That is amazing. So you have now the lip glosses, the lacquers, the regular lipsticks. What else are we expecting? Because you about to hit the whole face.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. So I'm trying to work on some palettes for women, just beautiful shades that are going to be trending this fall, because my lipsticks are metallic matte, so they have like this, it's not necessarily glitter, but it has a little shimmer to it, like you see it. I mean, I'm wearing it red, but it has a little shimmer to it. And so I want to have an eye palette that goes along with that, so you can complete your look, with your favorite foundation.
So the eye palette, the lipstick. Are we getting a little tutorial on how to do this? Because we don't want to have the girls out here with the lipstick on and the eyes are wrong. So we got to make sure like they coincide.
I can
You know what I'm talking about.
I do. That's why I laugh. I do. So I'm working with influencers and stuff like that right now, and building that relationship so we can get those tutorials. Because I will be honest with you guys, as much as I love makeup, I'm not a makeup artist. I do the best that I can, and I try YouTube is my go-to as well. So I'm working with influencers and stuff like that, so we could definitely get those tutorials and things like that, so everybody can see like a complete look. If you go on my Diamonds Glaze Instagram page, we have some people who have, they're wearing it with their looks, just looks amazing on them. And I mean, go ahead and pick out which one you want so I can send you some.
Oh, I love presents. So, Diamond Glaze, your book, what more do we have to expect from you? I mean, you're doing amazing things. Your book is, on Amazon, and your lipsticks are on your website. What more do we have to expect, and what's next for your brand?
I definitely plan on, expanding my cosmetic line, and I also plan on writing another book as well. Yeah, I plan on writing another book as well, because I didn't really touch too much on my childhood in my book. And so, I asked my mom, I was like, how would you feel if we wrote a book about a mother and a daughter having a conversation? Something that we don't get to see very often, especially in our community, about, growing up, childhood, stuff like that. So, it's definitely in the works. Another book is coming, and Diamonds Glaze is going to expand.
I love that because, like you speaking about your next book, I really think that's going to touch home because there's not a lot of conversations with the mother and the daughter. As much as we think there are, they're not a lot of conversation about what we need to have the conversation about. They're very surface. So for you to, or on some occasions, they're very surface.
Right.
So for you to take that initiative to make that your next narrative for your next book, yeah, I can't wait to read. I can't wait to read because I mean it's needed. We don't have a lot of conversations in our community. Let's just be honest. We don't have a lot of conversations in our community. We don't have the conversation until it's literally on our front door. So then that's when this let's sit down and let's talk about what's going on. No, we should have had this talk like years ago, and now you're just deciding to have this talk. But we'll go with it. But we should have had this talk years ago.
Exactly. And so that's my whole thing. I just want to, you know, expand, you know, people's hearts, their minds, and just have these conversations. Because even with my book, my whole purpose was to create a deep conversation within yourself, you know, to figure out, you know, are these things hindering me in my life, and what direction am I going in? What do I really want? You know, just simple questions that sometimes takes a lot to answer.
So for the people that have not purchased your book yet, what is one of your inserts that you may want to share with us and let them know that this is a book that they need to be, you know, reading and touch up with, because to expand your business, you need to expand your mindset. So what is one of your key components in your book that you may want to like kick out so they can be like, oh yeah, I need that book?
I would say the key component is, I'll say two things. One,
Okay.
no is a complete answer, and it does not require an explanation. If you say no, then it's no, and that's it. It doesn't require explanation. And the second thing is self-betrayal. There's so many times we do things that we really don't want to do, or we're not comfortable with, and we do things because we want to please other people, and it's a detriment to ourselves, whether it's financially, emotionally, or sometimes physically. So self-betrayal and just learning how to say no. Those are my two things. Like, that was huge to me.
That is so accurate, because like you say, we do things because we feel like we may need to, or we give explanations because we feel like we may need to. And you have to get to a point in your life where no means no. And respectfully.
Yeah, exactly, respectfully. But my answer is no. Have a nice day.
No. No with a smile.
No.
So I definitely appreciate you coming on Trending with Miss Tre. I look forward to your next book, your new collection, or your added on collection that you'll be adding on in the future. Is there anything else that you want to share with the audience before you leave?
Yes. If you would like to purchase my book, again, it's called Therapy Saved My Business on Amazon. You could do the paperback or the ebook, whichever you prefer. And if you're interested in my products, you can go to www.diamondsglaze. That's DYMANZGLAZE.com. Thank you. I just want to say thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
No problem. Thank you for being a part of Trending with Miss Tre, and I love to hear from you soon. Definitely come back if you have any exclusives, and we'll talk soon.
Yes. Thank you.